Fellas, AC here, welcome to another review. Now, recently we crossed 24,000 subscribers. I thought I'll do a video because it's important to say thank you and it's important to celebrate milestones. Now, 24,000, we got there, and I just want to say thank you to all of you who have contributed to this channel by their presence, by their commentary, by the support, by the likes. It's been absolutely amazing journey, and ever since I've restarted doing my perfume reviews, I've got even more support, even more appreciation for my work. So just wanted to say thank you, and here is a video. And this time I'm going to focus on a topic which is not talked about much. Hidden gems from budget line of Middle Eastern houses. Now, Middle Eastern houses have been the most significant development of the last decade when it comes to perfumery, because they have really forced the bigger houses, the mainstream houses, to look at a couple of key issues. For example, formulation, reformulation, weakening of the juices. Those things are gone now because these Middle Eastern houses, within 1 or 2 months of a release of a fragrance, they come up with a sort of a clone or an inspiration which is probably as strong, as good, and sometimes even more stronger than the mainstream release. So they have been a superb influence, in my opinion. Now, hidden gems. Why? Because again, like any fragrance or any product, some products get highlighted, some don't. And I've had the good fortune of sampling many such fragrances which I think should also get the attention. That's why I created this video. Some of the fragrances have been reviewed, so there are 11 in this list. Most of the fragrances are not talked about much, but I want to throw some limelight on them. Out of those 11 fragrances, 6 have been reviewed by myself. 1 is an honorable mention, which I'll mention right at the end, and that happens to be my scent of the day as well. But I want to give it some special light. So honorable mention comes at the end. 5 reviewed, 5 haven't been reviewed. Honorable mention has been reviewed. So let's start. So the first fragrance I want to talk about is a fragrance which has been impressing me quite a lot recently. It's been reviewed. I reviewed it probably 3 or 4 years ago. And this is a very, very special fragrance. It has 2 components which are great for winter, and I think it should get more limelight. This is a Rasasi, and it's basically Rasasi, Rumzel Rasasi Pour Louis 9453. And this Rumzel Rasasi or Leopard is not getting much highlight because it's not a direct clone of anything, but it's a really, really nice inspiration. And it takes inspiration from 3 fragrances. One of them is Black Afghano, and the other one is Pardon by Nasomatto. So both are Nasomatto fragrances, Pardon and Black Afghano. It takes inspiration from them. And it's a very, very nice fragrance, beautifully done. It's creamy sandalwood with oud, with a little bit of sort of sweet and sour note. And patchouli. It's cozy, it's woody, it's creamy, it's absolutely beautiful. It's not one of those fragrances that you instantly associate with. But if you have a little bit of experience, and if you like oud, if you like sandalwood, if you like patchouli, and if you like leather, you should try this fragrance. It's not one of those fragrances that gets a lot of talk, but it's a really well-made fragrance. It is also very expensive. When it comes to budget fragrances. This is 50 ml. It'll cost you anywhere between 25 and 30 pounds. So this is not the cheapest in the lot, but this is really accomplished perfumery. It's really well made. This is the kind of fragrance that Middle Eastern houses throw out sometimes, just to demonstrate their creativity, their ability. Not just creating a box standard clone, but also throwing out something which is really creative, representative of medieval perfumery. The oud here is not skanky, but there's a little bit of smokiness, funkiness to it, which adds to the mystique of the fragrance. And Black Afghano is one such fragrance. So yeah, highly recommend you try this if you're into that kind of fragrance. Next fragrance is a fragrance which is from a line which doesn't get a lot of talk. it's a subsidiary of Armaf. It's called Estiara, and this is Estiara Black Backpack Outdoor Sport. And this fragrance here, very strange packaging. So I like the backpack kind of packaging, and it tells you that this is an outdoorsy, fun scent, adventurous even. It is. It is a clone of or inspiration of Lacoste Blanc. Lacoste Blanc is a massive compliment puller. It had only one problem, and that was performance. It didn't last more than 4 or 5 hours. It was beautiful. It is beautiful. This one lasts on your skin for more than 10 hours. It has double the projection and sillage. It is very, very well made. So it's citrusy at the top. It has floral heart, tuberose, and woody sort of base. It is also fantastic quality. So if you are a fan of Lacoste type fragrances, and especially if you're a fan of Lacoste Blanc, I highly urge you to try this. It's a brilliant fragrance when you don't want to wear anything expensive, but still smell great and pull a compliment. Next on my list is a Rasasi. I recently reviewed it. This fragrance has immense projection, brilliant performance, and smells amazing, and also copies a discontinued fragrance. This one is Rasasi's Darej. Darej is a fragrance which is spicy woody vanilla. So the spices are cumin, coriander, and cardamom, and it's basically woody vanilla. It's very nice, very spicy, sweet and sour, woody. It's terrific. It copies Valentino V, which has been discontinued long ago. And even if it didn't copy anything, it's a fantastic fragrance. It's great for night outs, clubbing, social occasions, when you want to. It's just like the Estiara. When you want to pull a compliment, when you want to be appreciated for your choice of fragrance. It's a fantastic, fantastic fragrance. Highly recommended. Doesn't cost a lot. It used to get a lot of talk 5 years ago, 5-6 years ago. Somehow it's been sort of, it doesn't get the kind of attention it should get. So Darej, try it. And the name actually means popular. It'll make you popular. Next one is completely hidden. It's a total hidden gem. I discovered it for the FatCom, and this fragrance does not get any talk. But recently I reviewed a fragrance, and this fragrance reminded me, or that fragrance reminded me of this fragrance. This is Alfaris by My Perfumes. I reviewed it maybe 3 or 4 years ago. It puts a smile on my face immediately. This is another one of those fragrances which is easily likable, gets huge amounts of compliments. It's beautifully made. It's a fantastic unisex fragrance. And this reminds me, or the fragrance that reminded me of this is YSL's Myself Les Parfums. This is even stronger than Les Parfums. Les Parfums is a beast mode fragrance. This is even more stronger than that. It has immense projection, just like Darej. It has stunning sillage and scent cloud. Put 2 on your shirt and walk into your office and see what happens. People will love you for your scent. It just puts a smile on everybody's face. So what is this? This is basically woody vanilla in the base, spices up top, and in the center, a beautiful, fruity, sunny orange blossom. And that's what attracts me to Myself Les Parfums. That's what attracts me to this fragrance. It also has a very sort of fresh spiciness about it. Apart from pepper, I think they've also used ginger. Freshness about it. Juiciness about it. It's a juicy fragrance. Incredible. Alfaris. And again, just like Darej, doesn't cost a lot. Maybe less than £20. And smells amazing. Absolutely amazing. You can check out my full review. Now the last one on the list of the reviewed ones is a niche quality fragrance. When I reviewed it, I said there's nothing niche about this. I take my words back. I think there's everything niche about this fragrance. This is a Armaf Niche Oud. Niche Oud is a copy or a clone or an inspiration of Serge Lutens' Ombre Sultan, no less. I've just reviewed Ombre Sultan. I was praising Ombre Sultan to the hilt. It's one of the most amazing fragrances, in my opinion, ever made in terms of oriental perfumery. This one is not far. Not far. But if you have to like Oriental perfumery, you have to like dense, deep, rich amber scents, and you must like a little bit of animalic funkiness to it. Oh my god. Because of this, I guess if you don't have Ombre Sultan or can't buy Ombre Sultan because of its price, you can enjoy masterful sort of Oriental perfumery. Absolutely stunning fragrance. Niche Oud. Please try it if you can handle that sort of perfumery. Now let's talk about the ones that I haven't reviewed and will review very, very soon. Again, one of the fragrances that doesn't get any talk. It's a hidden gem. So it tries to clone Ombre Nomade. What is Ombre Nomade? Ombre Nomade is rose, oud, and then a little bit of leather. And the oud is quite inky and dark. And that is a child's play from Middle Eastern houses. And here is one. This is Lattafa's Opulent Oud. It takes the entire DNA and copies the first bit, which is the sour, little bit caramelly rose. So that's the only twist I would say. There's no caramel in Ombre Nomade. So caramelly rose with inky oud and milky or lactonic tones. And you get a very, very nice fragrance for very little money. It costs less than £15, or costed me £11 about 2 years ago. And it does reproduce a fragrance which is what, £350 or 100 ml. So it is an absolute joke. And as I said, rose and oud fragrances are a child's play when it comes to Middle Eastern houses. So this one is doing Ombre Nomade, at least the first half, without the leather, easily. One of the nicest fragrances ever. So, Opulent Oud. If you like rose, if you like deep, rich, dark rose with deep, inky oud, and if you like the note of lactonic, creamy, sort of caramelly undertone or praline, go for this. This is fantastic. It is masculine. It's not feminine. It is rich, dark, and mysterious all at the same time. Next is a clone of Angel Share by Kilian, but this one doesn't get a lot of talk. So I've tried Camera, and the problem I had with Camera is too feminine leaning for me initially. I'll review it very soon. It is very sweet and sour, but it is also very, very syrupy, which sort of puts me off. And probably that's the reason I have not tested it that much, because that syrupiness of the fragrance really bothers me. So I'm going to show you a fragrance which is less syrupy, more boozy, more woody, more airy, and it creates a new scent signature of Angel Share. I really like this one. This is by Paris Corner, and it's called Emir. This is part of the Emir line, and this one is called Fire Your Desire. This is what I really like when it comes to the Angel Share DNA. This fragrance is basically woody, airy, more boozy signature, more boozy take on Angel Share. This is also less thick, less syrupy. I don't like the syrupy bit. So this is more palatable when it comes to Angel Share. I really enjoyed this one. This doesn't get a lot of talk. I'll do a full review of these fragrances very soon. Next one is a beast mode fragrance. I really struggled with it, but I really like the dry down of the fragrance. This was again getting a lot of talk at the start of last year. It's died down now. People don't talk about it much. And this one again is Paris Corner, and this one is called Rafaqat. Rafaqat is a clone of, or an inspiration from, Baby Cat. Unfortunately for, beautiful. Unfortunately for me, I haven't tried Baby Cat yet. I just can't get a sample. If Baby Cat smells anything like this, or this smells anything like Baby Cat, you won the lottery. This is expensive. So this will cost you, it's I think 85 ml or 80 ml, and this will cost you about 30-35 pounds. But even at that price, it's worth it, because it's smoky, rich vanilla with, it's really smoky and dense with spicy elements, and then vanilla. The dry down is absolutely magical. It's supple vanilla with spices and a little hazy woodiness. It's really nice. And the vanilla isn't foody vanilla. It's more like a vanilla that you would smell in nature. It's really nice. but it's also very dense and very, very strong. So I struggle with it. But I think, and I'm also letting it macerate a bit. It's been in my collection for about 3 months now. So as you can see, I've put in a little bit of a dent and I'm letting it macerate. And once I'm satisfied that I'm smelling and it smells amazing already, then I'll review this. But yeah, this fragrance should be given more limelight. It's a really very well made fragrance. And Fragrance World, Kahwa. Kahwa is around, or the fragrance concept is around, wow, Emirati coffee, right? So they have a special way of serving coffee and making coffee, and this is around the Emirati lifestyle. And this coffee is absolutely amazing. It smells absolutely amazing and has been paired with sugary notes and date. And I think there is also woodiness and charriness to it. So burnt woods or charring woods. This is really impressing me. I'm just letting it macerate and then I will review it. Very few people talk about this fragrance, but if you like coffee-based fragrances, I highly recommend you try this. The 10th fragrance in this list is a fragrance which gets hardly any talk, and it is one of the nicest fragrances I've bought recent times. It is, again, from the same house, Fragrance World, and this fragrance is called Soa. Look at the packaging, just like this one. I mean, Fragrance World, their quality is absolutely top-notch. Just look at the quality of the packaging. Absolutely brilliant. For less than £20, Soa is as close as possible to Grand Soir by MFK. One sniff of it reminds you of MFK's Grand Soir, and it's so high in quality. I'm completely speechless as how good this fragrance is, and absolutely no one is talking about it. This is what you want to wear if you're afraid of wearing Oriental amber fragrances. If you're afraid of wearing or conscious of wearing something which is very rich and dark, and you want something bright and very acceptable and one that gets you many compliments and very easy to like, that's when you wear this. You cannot go wrong with this fragrance. You can wear this fragrance to any occasion as long as it's cold. Soa by Fragrance World. I'm going to heap praises on this fragrance very soon. I'll review it very, very soon. Absolutely amazing fragrance. Last one on the list, which has been reviewed by myself. It's not part of this list, so it's an honorable mention, but I wanted to put it right at the end rather than first, because I want this fragrance to get a bit of spotlight. I discovered this fragrance for the FragCon, but it gets hardly any talk. This is a Char by Rasasi. Look at the bottle for a change. This is premium. You know what this replicates? It replicates Clive Christian X, which is a £350 fragrance. This is not cheap. It will set you back by £50. So this is worth, this costs £50. I can't remember exactly how many mLs this is, but if you go and have a look, this will be around 45 to £50. And Clive Christian X is not for everybody, but it's a very complex fragrance. So if you like complex, green, sort of mysterious, smoky fragrances, you will really like a Char. A Char is more around amber, so styrax labdanum. Then it is encased in oud, which is smoky. Then it is sweet and sour and green. So if you like fragrances like Amouage Memoir Man, which has a very nice wormwood, and it is also sweet and sour and green and mysterious and smoky, you will like this fragrance. But I wanted to mention that clearly, that this is not for everyone. But if you are an experienced person who likes green, natural smelling fragrances with an element of oud, smokiness, and doesn't mind sweet and sour smell, then this fragrance will really impress you. And this is my scent of the day. I'll do another spray because this is really high quality. The oud here, oh, this is high quality. You smell this fragrance, you know. This is absolutely stunning. Just like Soa, this fragrance is immense. This quality of this fragrance is so high, it beggars belief. And this is less than £20. And wow, a Char. If you like complex fragrances, you know, just like this Rasasi here, this is ultra complex. These two Rasasis, If you like complex multi-layered fragrances, you want to have this in your collection, these two in your collection, especially a Char and this. You can't choose. You shouldn't choose. Wow. So I think I've given a Char its due respect. It deserves respect. It's a fabulous fragrance. So I'm hoping you really enjoyed this video, and if you did, do give it a like. And before I sign off, thank you once again for your amazing support to get me to 24,000, and I'm hoping here we'll reach 30,000 very soon. Take care. Bye bye.